So the topic today is leadership. And leadership is of critical importance. Can you, as you are discussing that, you were talking about self-awareness, and coming into your self-awareness. Who has a leadership style? A leadership style. Are you familiar with your leadership style? The course, one of the segments in there has to do with leadership. And one of the 7 timeless human values has to do with leadership. In your student handbook, it talks about leadership, and it tells about the clubs and organizations in which you must be a part of in order to develop your leadership. Clubs and organizations and involvement. So that's what we focused on. Who has a brand? Does anyone have a brand? Who has a brand?
I do.
What is your brand?
I sell eyelashes.
Oh, wow. Very nice. Very nice. So your goal is to sell eyelashes. And do you have a reason for doing that? What is your purpose?
Well, I want to have my own boutique. So my purpose is when I get my business degree and everything, I have my own business.
To have your own business, to become an entrepreneur. Okay. What about the rest of you all? Unmute yourselves. Okay. Have you left me? Okay, go ahead, Mr. Grice. Yes. What?
Real quick, I want to be sure I got the right response.
Yes. Do you have a brand? One student indicated that she has a brand, and she sells eyelashes. Is there anything that you have a brand that's focused on your goals?
I don't have one at the moment, but I'm definitely thinking about creating.
Are you thinking about doing what? I didn't hear that last part.
Creating a brand.
Oh, creating a brand. I got you. Okay. What about your? What is it about your goals that you want to focus on developing? What is it about your goal? Are you a leader or a follower?
A leader.
You're a leader? How do you know? What are the qualities? What are the indicators that you are a leader?
You gotta be up.
You did what?
You gotta be a good communicator.
Very good, very good. You're an effective communicator.
Communicator. Gotta be able to persuade people, right?
And you're pretty persuasive. I hear you. Okay. Talk to me, Church. Well, are you a leader or a follower?
Leader.
You told us that day one, didn't you? That you told us day one you were a leader. Okay.
Yes, sir.
What is your brand? Do you do anything that will stand out and people say, that's Churchwell's work? That's what, I bet you Churchwell had something to do with that. What is your brand that would make people know immediately that you're at work on this particular project? or you had something to do with this particular project?
Honestly, wouldn't know.
You work out a lot?
Yeah, I work out a lot.
Okay. So you focus on health.
Yeah.
Yes. So on page 218, gaining self-awareness, they want you to focus on how do you define yourself? How do you define yourself? How do you define yourself? Write down your core values. What are your most essential academic goals and your career goals? What are your most essential academic goals and career goals? What are some of your dreams? What are some of your aspirations? Ask yourself, what is my top skill? What are my strengths? And you should be able to choose some powerful adjectives that will capture those indicators of how you define yourself. If you're open-minded, if you're resourceful, if you're entrepreneurial, those will come out. Okay? Then another aspect, leadership, position yourself as unique and valuable. Determine what sets you apart from others. Each time you reach out to others, promote your strengths and what you're good at. List your attributes. I'm good at communication, you said. I'm good at advertising. That is advertising your business. You might capture your brand in a short statement you use with your email signature. For example, you may say by your email signature, always looking for new ideas. Very good. Always looking for new ideas. And so that's how you style yourself. Okay? Any questions about your leadership and how you get your leadership style started, initiated? Any questions? Okay. I want you to look at leadership, how it guides one towards goals and objectives. There is a theory that leadership means that you learn. Focus on learning in a learning environment. You get in various organizations and your job is to learn. In school, your job is to learn. Lead. That's what the L is. The E. The E is you're in an education environment. So educate yourselves. Educate yourselves. And you have aspirations to become better than you are. That's what leaders do. They aspire to become better than they are. Leaders have determination to achieve, to grow. They're dedicated. Leaders are dedicated. They have determination. And they develop themselves. They know what they're weak in, but they also know what they're strong in. So develop yourself, your mind. E to the second power. You got to be excited. That's what that E means. Enthusiasm. When I say education, you say enthusiasm. Unmute yourselves. Education, enthusiasm. When I say education, you say enthusiasm. Education.
Enthusiasm.
Very good. I didn't hear you say it loud enough, the other class members. Then, what do you think that R? There are 3 R's. What do you think they mean? This R. Come on, someone tell me. What does the R mean? 7 timeless human values. What does the R mean?
Respect.
Respect. Okay? And respect for who? 3 types of respect.
Others.
Respect for self. First self. Then respect for others.
Others.
And what's the 3rd R?
Respect for PSC.
That's right. What do you think that S stand for? That's the first word. Very good. So scholarship and what? Spiritual what? Scholarship and spirituality. You got to have that about you if you're going to become a leader. Scholarship, spirituality. The H says we are helpers. That means that you volunteer. That's right. And you have integrity. You have ideas to change the organizations, ideas to come up with programs. And that's what the programs is all about, the programs. And this is perseverance. So when you're up against a trouble, meet it squarely face to face. Lift your chin, set your shoulders, plant your feet, and take a brace. When the worst is bound to happen, in spite of all that you can do, running from the problem cannot save you. You have to see it through. So you have to see it through. Perseverance allows you, if you make a bad grade on the test, do you give up and drop out of college and school? No. You persevere. When the problems are coming toward you, you don't give up. That's what perseverance is. You don't give up. You keep working until you get that A. You keep working. That's a leadership quality. So all of these are leadership qualities. Work toward your goal. And we're going to take a look at your student handbook. And we're going to see your student handbook, what the issues are that will develop you. Okay, pull up your student handbook. And go to page 30, section 3 of your student handbook. Does everyone see that? The Division of Student Affairs and Enrollment Management provides services and programs to assist students as they pursue their academic and career goals at Philander Smith College. From matriculation through graduation, the various offices provide services and resources to help students accomplish their academic goals. It's a support system that helps. The objectives are to assist students in their growth and development by providing opportunities to exercise their sense of responsibility, leadership potential, and interpersonal relationship abilities. Your leadership potential. Each and every one of you has leadership potential. Your goal is to develop them, as we've gone over. Develop them, your skills. And is everyone on that one? You see that? Do you see that on page 30? Let's go to who is the name of the, it's a title. The person who's over the Office of Student Affairs and Enrollment Management. What is the position? Say it louder. The Vice President for Student Affairs and Enrollment Management is the person over it, the office. And under there, you'll see on page 22, the Dean of Students. That person is in a position to help you coordinate all of the services that you will need to develop your leadership and your skills, your abilities. It's two parts. It's your academic and your student affairs, making the whole student. Okay? And so you got to understand what's going on at the colleges and universities, particularly Philander Smith College. Okay? There is a chaplain and a dean of religious life. And you'll see that on Dr. Rhonda Lovelace in that role of Dean of Students, Reverend Ronnie Miller Yao, chaplain. You'll get a chance to meet these. These personalities are bigger than life. You will see that. Okay? There are student services that we have. And you'll find out that various departments, student services, the bookstore, you'll go there, and we have a lot of resources for you. Office of Recruitment and Admissions comes under Dr. Hudson, who's our Vice President Hudson, and Student Leadership and Engagement Office, a lot of the registrar comes under the Office of Financial Aid, so you will get an opportunity to meet all of these personalities. They're bigger than life on our campus. And you will encounter career and volunteer services, counseling and psychological services should you need these services, disability support services. So if you know you're having difficulty, register with this office so that the professors will know you're having difficulty and will be able to, and your professors are very much accommodating and willing to work with you. So there are various guidelines that we must follow as professors to get our students through disability support services. You'll volunteer with new student orientation, student leadership engagement, health services, the health clinic, and so forth, housing and residential life. It's you'll probably more than likely live in the residential life center, but there's a suite A and a suite B in the campus, another campus 2 that we refer to it. And I don't know if the barracks is still open, but you'll find out about the barracks as well. That's a lot of activities that we'll do. Student activities, How many of you involved in athletics? How many of you involved in athletics?
I am.
Okay. And the goal of Philander's intercollegiate athletic program is to provide the support to achieve each student's maximum potential as a scholar athlete, your scholar athlete, within an atmosphere of academic excellence. And so we participated in the NAIA activities, and we're with the Gulf Coast Athletic Conference, GCAC. And I'm the faculty athletic representative. Also, you'll become involved to develop your leadership skills. You'll become involved in Greek life, fraternal organizations, and clubs and organizations. Some of the fraternal organizations require that you have at least complete at least 15 hours at Philander Smith College, have a minimum cumulative GPA of 2.5 or better, and free of any disciplinary charges. No disciplinary charges, okay? Members such as Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity, Kappa Alpha Psi, Omega Psi Phi fraternity, Phi Beta Sigma fraternity, Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority, Delta Sigma Theta sorority, Sigma Gamma Rho sorority, and Zeta Phi Beta sorority. So that's the various organization. And Iota Phi Theta is a colony on our campus, outstanding group of young men as well. So your honors convocation, you'll participate in that, and you can volunteer your services in a lot of intramural sports, refereeing, and all type of. We have 6 different sports throughout our school year, including flag football, dodge ball, kickball, softball, basketball, and soccer. So whether you played the sport in the past or looking to play it now, come on down. We got it at Philander Smith College. We have it going on. Philander has it going on. We have little sister groups and little brother groups and sweetheart groups, and you can get involved in those. We have Mr. Philander Smith College, Miss Philander Smith College. They're elected student leaders. Leaders, all of these are it's for you to focus on your leadership, because you'll get in those organizations. Some of them say that you must be, I don't know if that's still in existence now, must be born female or be single, must remain in this status during the reign. But we'll look at that one and see if they've made those changes. You got to have a 2.75 when you go up this high, no longer 2.0 and 2.5. This is pretty high. Earned at least 60 quality academic hours at the beginning of the fall semester of the reign. So, and there's student government. That's the agency of student government that the policies and so forth that you will, officers are elected in accordance with the SGA Constitution. So you'll be involved in all of these, in all of the activities of the Student Government Association. Students interested in SGA office should refer to the SGA Constitution for qualifications and requirement. Student organizations. We have over 25 student organizations and clubs that you can become affiliated with. One of mine is the Spanish Club. Students are interested in learning Spanish. And so that's important. The list of registered students organization you can get from Student Affairs Office and that. So that's that section. Then there's a section 4. And section 4, I want to point out to you the general policy and procedure statement. Cellular phones. You see that part where it says cellular phones? The use of cell phones for personal use is strictly prohibited during class session. The use of electronic devices in a class session must be for the academic purpose and subjected to the approval of the professor, the instructor. So you cannot use those cellular devices, electronic devices, in a class session unless the professor gives you permission. You can have them, and then I noticed that some of the professors request students to put them in a box during test dates, but it depends upon the professor. Classroom disruptions and steps for redress. The Philander Smith College student agrees to recognize the college's 7 human timeless values as part of the rites of passage to campus culture and life. The college's 7 timeless human values are as follows: respect for self. What else? What else? Respect for others. What else? Respect for PSC property, leadership, scholarship, service, and spirituality. So those 7 timeless human values are also placed in your student handbook. They're not just in your catalog for your courses. That's in academic affairs. This is in student affairs. Both academic affairs and student affairs work together to form the complete student. That's the way we do it at Philander Smith College. Any questions? Any questions? Any questions?
No, sir.
You don't have any? Okay. Okay. What about the rest of you? I guess, okay. I see your thumbs up. Okay. All right. Consensual relationship. There are inherent risk in any romantic or sexual relationship between individuals in unequal positions, such as a teacher and a student, or a supervisor and employee. These relationships may be less consensual than perceived by the individuals whose position confers power. So this is what they want to point this out to you so that you can be aware and you don't get yourself into a situation with an unequal relationship, of romantic or sexual relationship. Cyberbullying. Intolerance and bigotry are antithetical to the values of the college, and they're unacceptable. Unacceptable. No cyberbullying allowed. In fact, there's a state law on cyberbullying, and communication means the electronic communication of information of a person's choosing between and among points specified by the person without change in the form or content of the information as sent or received. And then they go on to talk about what electronic means. It's textual, it's visual, it's written, it's oral communication of any kind through the use of the computer, online services, the internet services, the telephone, or any other means of electronic communication, including without limitation to a local bulletin board service, an internet chat room, electronic mail, or social networking site, or online messaging services. Electronic bullying is a no-no. Cyberbullying is a no-no. Then they go into talking about, and it's a Class B misdemeanor. Cyberbullying is. The dress code. Dress code, you're to dress appropriately and in an acceptable manner on the campus, and we encourage off campus as well. And particularly, we are looking for appropriate dress for various occasions in classroom, cafeteria, college offices, and library. Neat, modest, casual, and dressy attire. Interview business attire is encouraged on certain occasions. Social and recreational activities include athletic events. Try to dress appropriately at Greek shows, athletic event, resident halls, lounges, where it's a common area. Be careful how you dress. Try to dress modestly, casual, dressy. However, balls and galas, they talk about dressy and so forth. Do-rags and head scarves, head coverings, hood, hair rollers, stocking caps, skull caps, and they go on and talk about bandanas are prohibited at all times on the campus of Philander Smith College, except in the privacy of one's living quarters. And this goes for both men and women. Philander Smith College, I should tell you, is a part of the United Methodist Church, and we try to be as observant as we can of our spirituality, and as it relates to when we leadership. That's a part of our leadership. Bare feet and indoor slippers and all of this, visual undergarments, visible undergarments, when wearer is blending or sitting or bending down or sitting or walking. So that's what men undershirt of any color. So that's it. Any questions regarding about any of the activities relating how your leadership is so important, so critical, so essential to your development as a Philander man and a Philander woman? Any questions? Any questions before we end the session? Unmute yourselves. Any questions? Okay. Then the next session, I will call you on the hour, and have a great day. Bless you and have a great day.